hourly checks to improve care on patients in the wards. I mean, is that an achievable goal?
Yes, it is an achievable goal, but it's got to be set against a range of other things that people are doing. And actually, you'd probably be interested to know that a number of our wards here at St Mary's already do these hourly checks. Some of them have very much embraced it, and it's part of their day-to-day practice, and other areas are just starting to do it. But having had a quick check round this morning, I think it's something like 7 of our wards are already doing it, and a number of others are looking at how they can introduce it.
It would seem like a bit of a basic requirement to me as a casual observer that is something that people are doing anyway. Has that not been happening?
I think it's about it's often about balancing what's going on in a particular ward area, and certainly what this concept is, which is called intentional rounding or hourly checks, has demonstrated that actually patients get better care when it's done. So yes, it is a fairly basic approach, but what we do is we ask the patient a number of questions when we go to them if they're awake, to make sure that they're comfortable, that they've got what they need, and that they don't need anything else from us at that point in time. And that happens in some of our wards 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And presumably among the many beneficiaries of this, elderly people for whom care has been slammed in recent months. Tell me about care for elderly patients here and how the hospital sort of matches up to standards.
I think what I'd say about that is that we care for all patients equally, but actually paying attention to the elderly particularly where they've got they might have, some confusion, or they might be frailer than other members of the population. So we do look at additional support for those patients at those times. So you'll quite often go onto the wards and find patients who perhaps are more frail, perhaps confused, having a nurse on a one-to-one relationship with them for that time period. So we do already look at a range of initiatives anyway to support older people. And we're just getting involved in a project being run by the NHS Institute to look specifically at the care of elder people over the next 3 months, and a number of my team and myself are involved in that scheme, which is being rolled out nationally.
And if I come in as a patient and I'm looking, for these hourly checks, what sort of things are you going to ask me?
We're going to ask you about, are you comfortable? Have you got any pain? Do you need to go to the toilet? Do you need anything to eat or drink at this point? Those types of things to make people feel comfortable. And we might ask them, do they feel sore anywhere? And thinking about bed sores and things like that, just to make sure that actually we're preventing things like that happening.
Presumably, if they're asleep, they're asleep.
Absolutely, and we don't want to disturb somebody who is sleeping peacefully. But if somebody's perhaps sleeping and they seem to be distressed while they're sleeping, then obviously we'll look at what we can do to help that particular individual.
And very finally, do you think it will pay dividends here? Will you see an improvement, or enough is happening already?
I think we will see an improvement as we start to roll this out across areas, and I think what I'd add to this is that we've actually been doing work around improving time to care for about 2 years here already. So there's a number of initiatives that have been in place to actually free up nurses from tasks to enable them to focus on patient care. So what I'm hoping is that this will just be a continuation of a journey that we've been on for a while anyway.